Hello and welcome to this FPL Game Week 1 team selection video from me, Holly Shand. In this final video for pre-season, I'm going to reveal my final team for FPL Game Week 1. It's been 16 videos on the channel this pre-season, grown to 12,000 subscribers, so thank you so much for the support. And if you are new around here, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Any last minute dilemmas as well, do get in the comments and I'll do my best to answer all of them. Let's get into it. So news emerged this week that Kasper Schmeichel has signed for Nice from Leicester, which has opened the door to saving some money on our goalkeepers. There was a number of routes I could have taken. I originally had Raya in goal with a 4 million dud as the backup. I obviously went with a Leicester defender, a Leicester goalkeeper for 4 million for the backup, but Sanchez and Ward, who I think will be first choice for Leicester, rotate very, very nicely. Ward hasn't played a lot of pre-season but has played behind closed doors game this week, so it looks like he will start in game week 1. But what is even better is if you have the 4 million goalkeeper in Ward and the backup in Iverson, and that's 8 million spent in that goalkeeper spot, which is a massive saving ahead of game week 1. And I had 0.5 million in the bank in my last draft, so that has afforded me to make some changes. Moving into the defence then, and I have gone big at the back. I've got double Liverpool defence. I do think that Trent and Robertson is the way to go. Robertson is your third Liverpool player for me. Seems like the one to go for. He's going to have the superior points per game. We need to think of these Liverpool fullbacks essentially as midfielders that also get clean sheets. You can lock in 10 attacking returns at least for Trent and Robertson this season, and hopefully 15 clean sheets as well. They'll provide fantastic value. Remember how much they've not changed in price since last season. I was expecting price hikes for all of them, and they haven't changed in price, so they were locks in my team. I've also gone with João Cancelo, and I've also gone with Ivan Perisic. I think Cancelo will be fantastic value, the go-to from the Manchester City team. Perisic, a little bit of a risk. We don't know how fit he is for game week 1. However, he could be on a level with Trent, Robertson and Cancelo this season, and is at least 1.5 million cheaper than those options, so he was a must-have to go for in my team. Moving into the midfield then, and I think I've finally made peace with which players I want in the midfield. Mo Salah, I've still got a choice to make. Do I triple captain him in game week 1? Obviously he's a lock in the team, but looking at his record for Liverpool, he's scored in every single game week 1 fixture for Liverpool over 5 consecutive seasons, which is a fantastic record. 4 of those times he scored double digits, including in the away fixtures and fixtures against promoted teams. We've already seen Marco Silva complaining about the lack of depth he's got in his squad, so I think Liverpool will have a really easy game against Fulham on Saturday. We know that we've got 3 double game weeks to come this season, provisionally, so if we've got 4 chips to use in the latter half of the season, it may be that when it gets to the obvious triple captain week, there isn't an obvious option to go for. So I do think it could be justified to play the triple captain on Salah. I do need to give it a little bit more thought. To be honest with you, because I'm so busy running up to the game week 1 deadline, I think having the time to sit down and really think it through is going to be the biggest barrier to me playing it. But if any of you out there are considering triple captain Mo Salah game week 1, then I think you really should go for it. Saka is the 8 million midfielder slot. I've decided I didn't want to triple up on Arsenal assets. I think double up is enough. First 2 fixtures maybe aren't as easy as it seems on paper. So that's where I'm going with that option. And then I've got Bailey and Neto. Now Bailey has tough fixtures game week 4 onwards. Neto has a tough fixture in game week 3. But if you carry on watching, you'll see the solution that I've come up with given that 1 million spare that I had in the bank. Moving to the forwards then, Gabriel Jesus, his ownership is absolutely colossal. To think there's 6 million managers in the game and basically 3/4 of them own him, that's why you kind of have to double up on the Arsenal attack, because if he does deliver, then you're not really going to gain an advantage. You have to have, you know, the other player that's combining on the goals, which is why I've gone with Saka in there. But I think he'll be a great asset. Remember, Arsenal have got the easiest fixtures of all sides over the opening 8 game weeks. And then I've got Kane in there. I think Southampton at home, it was just too good to ignore. I am considering bringing in Haaland for game week 2. Let's see how things pan out, but that's certainly an option for me. I've read comments from Scott Parker that Bournemouth lacking defensive options. So that could mean that Haaland in game week 2 is the way to go. Let's see how Leon Bailey gets on against that Bournemouth defence in game week 1. But I've got the option there. I could have had Son, but I just think that if I am to go from Spurs premium to City premium, I need to be on a forward to go Kane to Haaland. I think that just provides me with the flexibility. And even though Son was the prominent goal scorer last season, Kane actually got the most goal involvement. So certainly going to be some value there as well. Moving on to the bench options then, I've got that double up on the Leicester goalkeepers. By the way, if they do sign another goalkeeper that's going to be first choice, then I'm absolutely screwed. But it seems like all the talk from Brendan Rodgers is that they're not looking for someone to take the number 1 shirt away from Ward. I've gone for Kyle Walker. So because I had a spare million in the bank by saving on the goalkeepers, I've upgraded Neco Williams to Kyle Walker. Now, I don't want to play him this week because West Ham away is not an easy fixture. Cancelo obviously has the attacking threat that Walker doesn't, but to get on Manchester City, the best defence in the Premier League, for 5 million with a fullback, just seemed too good to ignore. City may strengthen and they may need to move Walker on, but at the moment, I think is a good choice. Bench him game week 1, and then game week 2, when Perisic plays Chelsea, I can bench him and bring Walker on. And then when Neto has a difficult fixture in game week 3 against Spurs, I can move to a 5-3-2, and then when Bailey's fixtures turn, I've got flexibility there as well. So even though I've not got money in the bank, I've got a good first substitute, which I think is a good compromise. And then obviously I've got Andreas as my second sub and Archer as my third sub. I didn't want to go Sam Greenwood because the likelihood is he will fall in price because he's quite highly owned when people change their formations. Andreas is the best 4.5 million option in the midfield. 90% set on this. Obviously, we've still got managers' press conferences to come on Thursday and Friday, which could change things. I've still got things to consider with the captaincy. I'm still a little bit tempted by a triple up on Arsenal with Martinelli, so things could change a little bit, leave some money in the bank, go back to Williams, but that's where I am at the moment. Thank you for watching then. If you've enjoyed this one, please give this video a like and subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much for all the support this pre-season. I've seen some really great growth on here and I've really enjoyed interacting with you guys. And if you do have any dilemmas ahead of the Game Week 1 deadline, do get in the comments and I'll do my best to answer as many of them as possible. Good luck everyone for FPL Game Week 1.